Hi there, I'm Evan.
And I'm Mark, and on this week's episode...
I get very upset and interrupt Mark a lot.
Yeah, sometimes he does, but at the same time, not all the time.
On this episode, stay tuned. It's a special one.
That's it? You don't want to tease anything else?
It's a special one.
Okay. I thought I'd rather be early and underprepared
It's
than
early. It's
late.
2:30. You are not early.
It was 2:29 actually when I logged in.
Listen, that's not early. Come on. If you show up 1 minute early,
Yeah,
guess what?
you're on
not
time. You're late. You're late. Yeah, I knew you were going there because of the Alex thing. One of my favorite stories from your Thought Leadership Academy is the story that you told about Alex and when you brought him coffees and stuff. And I don't know why I love that so much, but if anyone wants to know what it's like to be with Evan, the closer you are to him, the harder he is on you because he expects more of those in his life.
Only if they expect more in their life.
Oh.
Yeah.
So do you want to share that story or no?
You can.
It's not my story to share.
Why do you like it so much? Your version of it is what people resonate with.
My version of it, I might not even tell it right. So Alex on Evan's team, Evan's Alex from TDS, Toronto Dance Salsa. I guess he was a little bit all over the place. He was notoriously late. And it was something that he was working on, right, to try and show up on time for things. You drilled into his mind that if he's not 10 minutes early, then he's late. But one time you got him coffees, right? And you showed up at TDS and the studio's dark. The doors are locked. You go in and you wait. And then I guess you wait a few minutes and then you take Post-it notes and you wrote a message and posted them all over the mirrors or something. And then you left. What did you write?
It's a Shakespeare quote. Better to be 3 hours early than a minute late. Something like that. And each word was on its own sticky note. So better to be 3 hours early than a minute late, however many words that is. And then William Shakespeare. I put it up on the mirror. So inside TDS it's an empty dance studio. So hardwood floors and a mirror. So I put it up word by word in the mirror and I put his coffee on the floor right underneath it.
How many minutes late was he really? 8? 10? How long do you think you gave him?
It was right. It was right on time. I mean, You didn't give him a minute of grace or anything. It was just, hey, it's 2:01. We're supposed to meet at 2. Yep.
But you had enough time to start writing. You had enough time to come up with the idea, to get the Post-it notes, start writing it, post them all up, leave without him seeing you.
Yeah. Well, and I'm hustling. It's like, are you kidding me? It's 11 o'clock or whatever it was. He's not here. I got to do this as soon as possible because I need to have it in and out and go ASAP. So
yeah, because you didn't want him to catch you halfway through.
Yeah, exactly. Right? I got to take it all off the wall. Exactly. Yeah. But all in, I don't know, 7 minutes. I don't know how long that whole all took. I left. And listen, we had important stuff to go over that day. It's not just hang out. We had important stuff to do. And I left. Shut the lights. He came in. There's his coffee. How he likes it, sitting on the floor.
That must have just destroyed him. He's such a heart guy. That must have just made him feel so terrible about himself. And it's got to be painful. Anytime you want to learn a lesson, it's got to be painful enough to change. But
and this is 3 years ago. I don't know how long we're talking now with the story. I'm bad looking back. It might have been longer. I was just on my IG Live with Alex on Monday, and he took those sticky notes off and put them home. Monitor. So he still has them up. I don't know how many times he's had to retape them or whatever, because I'm sure the sticky has worn off, unless 3M just really has insane quality products. But he still has that above his desk. He took them off one by one and put them up one by one in his home environment, and he loves it. Yeah, but it's for him, for himself, but also teaching people how to treat you. This happened today. I had today's my public facing day. So interviews and podcasts and all this stuff. And one person gave us the wrong link. Mm-hmm. And so I'm there and I show up and it says 3:30 or something, the appointment. Okay. So I send a message, copy him, copy my assistant. Not sure what happened. It says 3:30. I had it in my calendar for 11. hope you're doing well. Send. Like if somebody's not there.
Missed his one shot.
Yeah. I mean, now maybe something happened. Maybe it was, I write to my assistant, like, is this on our end? Like did we mess up? Because we'll mess up sometimes. My assistant's juggling, 1,000 things. Actually, now it's getting a little easier to slot people in because with my travel, we had to move people. And there's some people I had to move like 3 or 4 times and I feel terrible just because we booked them. Mm-hmm. The schedule's crazy. So we booked them in a month and then I get a speaking gig and I'm off to San Diego or something. And we could, please apologize. I'll make it up to them. So is it on our end? Did we mess up? Was there just a miscommunication? And then somebody else today, we moved our call a little bit earlier. They messaged today and moved it a little bit earlier. And I happen to have a time slot open. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even notice. I mean, whatever. I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. So I log in and say, I'm talking to this.
Yoda.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm not. But in general, like, so yesterday, I'm not paying attention to who I'm talking to next. So I have no idea. My next Thursday is packed with calls, except for my call with my friend, Mark Drager at 2:30.
Hey.
I don't know what else is happening on next Thursday, right? So I come in the morning and here's my calendar and great. I'm just plowing through my calendar. And Sandra, my assistant, told me, well, one of them we moved. I don't even know why she told me. One of them moved earlier. I'm like, don't do that. Even if we have the time, don't do that. Because I don't want to teach people to
move stuff
make
around.
Last minute changes. If something comes up, awesome. Like, great. Somebody's sick. You have some other emergency. I understand. But I'm not moving it earlier in the day.
It's funny because you say this, and yet yesterday, you and I jumped on an impromptu strategy call at, gosh, I don't know, what's 10:30, maybe 10:30 in the morning, something like that. Yeah. And at 11 o'clock, I had a fairly important team meeting that I'm looking at the clock. We're still talking. It's 11. It's 11:03. It's 11:05. I'm thinking, oh gosh, my team is sitting on this call. Finally, like 11:08 or something, I get a text from the team where they're like, hey, we're all sitting here. What's going on? And I'm like, I'm on with a client. Just give me a minute.
You could say I'm on with Evan. You don't have to say client.
Well, it's fine because you are a client and client calls are important. If it's like, hey, I'm on with Evan, they're gonna be like, oh, he's just blowing us off to hang out with his friend. I was in client mode.
If anybody says that, I need their name. Blowing off us that just hang out with his friend. Who would have that mindset on your team right now? Nobody.
Anyway, we were doing client stuff. We were doing work stuff, and it was important that we worked through it right away, right? And so finally, they're like, it's like 11:30, and they're like, "Hey, Mark, we're just gonna have to find another time to do this." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm so sorry." And yeah, so I totally missed an important call to focus on the present, and I was feeling bad about it at the time. But at the same time, I was like, if I don't do this with you right now, we're not gonna have this we have to do this conversation right now. This impromptu conversation that you and I had about strategy, about what was going on with the advertising, all of that stuff. We have to do it now because if I go away and I focus on something else, we're not gonna get back into this today. And then what is it, next Wednesday? Like when is the next time? So we have to do it now. So.
Okay. So how does that?
Well, I'm just saying that I blew off a really important call. For you. And I know sometimes you blow off. One time our podcast went super long and you blew off an important call for me. So how does that play into your show it better to be a minute early than, I'm playing devil's advocate here. That's my job here.
No, but you're not because it all aligns.
Okay.
It's just layers of context. If I show up late for something or I go late on this podcast and I have somebody afterwards, which almost never happens. Like I always have somebody afterwards, but I'm almost never late for a show, an interview, anything, a phone call. That's why I'm always calling you because I'm never late in doing it. But if I make that decision for the 1 out of 3 years of episodes or whatever, not 3 years, 3 seasons of episodes to push late, I'm making a judgment call that's important. And I know that whoever I have coming up after, I can make it up to them. And if they push me off to the next month, I get it. I deserved it. I didn't show up. But I'm making a judgment call that the insane amount of life-changing advice that Mark Drager is getting is worth me missing this interview that's coming up right after.
See, I wasn't even going to talk about this, David. I love this because here's the thread. Here's the thread to pull. We talked about Evan ego maybe 5 or 6 episodes ago. Mark ego, okay. Evan ego, outsiders see it as ego, but is it ego? It's really confidence or this or that. If Jimmy John has a call with you at 2 p.m. and doesn't show up, you go, that's it. You missed your opportunity, right? But if you blow off a call on someone, you know that you can make it up to them. That there's like an ego perspective there, right? That like that person missed their shot with you.
No. You're missing it. So
am I?
Yes. Let me explain it more in depth. If I blow off somebody and first off, it's not blowing off. I'm going to message them and say, listen, I had a really important family emergency that I had to take care of. I'm super sorry. I hate canceling. Let me know. I'm happy to reschedule. And then I'll go off my book. I'll book a Friday or I'll book a Wednesday or something that's not in part of my calendar. And I'll tell Sandra, like, we need to make it up to this person. Mm-hmm. Let's figure out how we can do that. Right. If somebody wrote to me and they said, hey, I have a medical emergency, or I had to go help my friend, or there's a reason. Like, I'm not assuming most people are just late. I mean, it happens with some people are just aloof and don't care. But there's a reason. Okay, awesome. I'm empathetic. I understand your we can book it again if there's a solid reason in a month. And if somebody that I blew off didn't want to talk to me again until a month, I am humbled. Like, I expect it. I expect to be humble, to do whatever we can to make it up to this person, to open up my calendar, to push off other things because I blew them off and I feel terrible about it. So it's not that I'm so amazing and that you should just automatically have me back on. Like, my showing up is a gift to you. That's not the mindset.
It is.
But that's not what that's when I say I can make it up to them. That's not what I'm thinking. It's that I'm going to explain what happened. There's a valid reason for what happened. I hope they understand it. And I'm going to bend over backwards to try to make this person feel happy because I hate disappointing people. And so I'm going to do, I in my head, because I can make it up to them, because whether it's coming back on the interview, whether it's doing a coaching call with them, whether it's sending them a signed book, like something, I can make it up. I can save the relationship, not because I'm such a awesome person, but because I'm going to give them so much love, attention, care, so that they feel amazing by the end of it. I've never lost somebody coming out to say, no, you didn't show up on my thing, so screw you, I hate you. And that's not how I would treat people either. If they're late, like the person didn't show up today, I don't know what happened. Scheduling, communication errors, like that happens, or they're running late and they think showing up 1 minute early is early. Great. Well, we can reschedule. Awesome, because there's probably some story, but it's going to be in a month.
Well, I have been standing here. I was standing here for 10 minutes before the podcast, waiting to log in. And then I logged in when I said it's 2:29. I'm going to log in because I like to try and see if I could catch. There's a window with Evan, right? Like, you have to have logged in so that way you can open up the room. But sometimes I catch you when you're off doing squats or grabbing a drink or this or that. So I always like to try and log in that perfect window between you opening up the room that we do this call on and you not being at the mic yet.
All right, but you could open it and wait.
I can't open it. I'm not the moderator.
No, you could sit there and it.
Oh, what? I can sit there and it just spins and it's like, oh, the moderator will be here soon. That's not fun.
Who said it has to be fun? Like, if you're going to show up and say you're early for something, that's what I do. That I was on that guy's call, sitting there waiting, and then it didn't start, and it says it's going to start at 11:30 or whatever, and then most of the time, I'm not dealing with if there was an issue, we're not starting in 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's either not happening or whatever.
Yeah. We're good. If there was a miscommunication, okay, awesome. We'll reschedule. We'll do it again. So I told Sandra, like, if somebody is late, if it was our fault, make it up to them immediately, ASAP. Like, what do you need from me to make this person happy so that, because we screwed up. But if they screwed up or they just missed it for maybe a valid reason, then book it again in a month.
Mm-hmm. So switching gears a little bit.
Okay.
Here, we're in the midst, obviously, of kind of the craziness of COVID. Everybody knows that. That's fine. I don't want to dig too deep into that. But here's something that I was talking to Jack about today and something that I'm struggling with.
Okay.
I feel kind of guilty about. The last few days, especially, now that we're getting into the rhythm with things, I'm really enjoying this.
Oh, it's great, eh? I love it.
I feel bad for the disruption, but here's what I've noticed. People are showing each other a lot of empathy and understanding and grace. I don't like how slow everyone is moving, but we have a few clients who've gotten really aggressive. Okay. And so I love it because it's kind of separating, like it's making very clear those who are kind of slow and safe and don't want to do anything from those who are like, yeah, let's go. Like, let's be opportunistic. Let's make this happen. Let's go. And it's like, it's separating in my mind those who are like, let's go people versus, well, it's better and let's wait 6 weeks. Let's do this. And so like, I'm getting clarity amongst those that I work with. People are empathetic and providing grace to one another for things that do go wrong, or they're willing to move really quick and allow mistakes to happen, which means they're embracing the nasty that we talk.
What are you struggling with then?
Well, hold on. I get to spend, I'm explaining to the audience, Evan. I'm spending more time with my kids now because I get up early. I haven't been in traffic in 2 weeks. So I typically would commute like an hour and a half at least per day. I don't have to do that anymore. So I freed up all of this time. My gym is closed, which sucks, but now I get to exercise whenever I want. So like midday, I did my exercise and run. I'm spending time with my kids. I'm connecting more with Jacqueline. We don't have all of that crap. I'm a homebody. So all of the crap of life, I hate. I don't like going to the dentist. I don't like taking the kids to, soccer or this or that. That's all distractions. And so here's what I feel guilty about. Everyone is melting. Everyone is freaking out. And I'm really liking this right now. Like I'm really, really like, I said to Jack about an hour ago, I was like, I kind of hope that from this, that like this could be more like my real life when we go back to normal, because I don't like all the distractions. I don't like all bullshit. I don't like having to run this to this. And that, like, I like that my kids are home. I like that life is simpler. I like that I can focus. I like we're spending more time together. I like that people are being nicer to each other. I like that the government is coming in to help out. I like how people are acting.
Is the government coming in to help out?
Huge programs in America, really? In Canada.
Can we do anything for TDS? Because my business is tanking there.
Yes. Alex should immediately be let go. The government will pay $2,000 per employee per month for a 4-month window. They've gotten rid of EI because they had 1 million applicants for EI in 1 week alone. And they're just moving everybody over to this. You apply and you get the money. BDC has gotten an emergency grant from the government for emergency loans. Like the banks are opening up lending. Like everybody is coming together.
I don't need a loan. I don't want a loan.
No, I'm not saying you need a loan, but you can take the money, apply it to there, and just have the carrying costs, which are really low average things right now, and you don't have to use your own money, right? So that way you could have cash on hand for investments because the market is sinking. You buy investments and you make money on when it picks back up.
I'm not taking out a loan to invest.
That's fine. The point is that everyone is coming together, and I feel kind of bad even saying this because I'm enjoying so much of this right now. What?
I got it.
Great. There was a long pause. Great. Move on.
Holy Christ. Okay, great. Controllable and uncontrollable. So, the uncontrollable.
Do you want me to explain more?
What? No. Jesus. Every time we get to like, this is for the audience, I'm just gonna, okay, I got it. I'm going to go surf the web like people do. We love you, audience. Controllable and uncontrollable, right? So some things are controllable. And learning the lessons through this of I really like X, Y, Z should be changes that you make in your life. You if you're really enjoying, I mean, great, you enjoy not going to dentist, you probably have to still go to the dentist, Mark. But if you really enjoy...
I haven't been in 3 years. I don't know if I got to start now.
You really enjoy working from home. Great, don't work from home Fridays anymore. Work from home 4 days a week, whatever, right? Like things that you can control that can live. You don't have to go back to the exact same life that you had. What can you take that you can live, that you can build the business that you want, build the life that you want? Why are you an entrepreneur if you can't build the life and business that you want? This is the whole point. Those things are controllable. So this is a great time for anybody who's been forced to step into a new world. Think about what is it that you love about it, and then how can you continue on doing it? It's like when you go on vacation or when you go to a conference and you come back and you get some new ideas, great. Like you need to apply that more consistently in your regular life when you fall back to your regular life, because we're going to fall back to regular life. You're just at some conference right now.
I know.
And you're going to fall back to your regular life.
Exactly what I said to someone. I don't remember who. I was like,
Great.
Kind of like we're on vacation right now from life.
Awesome. Now make it your life. Right? The controllable parts now become your life. If you love doing meetings from home, great. Set up your business so you do meetings from home. Only go in one day a week. Be the hermit on top of the mountain that comes down every quarter and says something genius and changes everybody's lives. Awesome. Yoda Drager in the house. Great. I love it. And that's for everybody listening. The uncontrollable part is a lot is being forced on you. You have no choice. You are in lockdown. I mean, you could, I guess, go against the rules and whatever, but I'm my business TDS can't open up, right? You get $500,000 fine or whatever it is to be in, to be open.
For those who aren't in Ontario, it's against the law to be open right now if you're a
non-essential services.
Non-essential service.
Right. And salsa dancing is definitely an essential service. Come on, guys.
Salsa isn't. The community aspect is.
Yeah. But even the community, anyway, it doesn't matter. We don't have to dive down that hole.
Oh, I got new ads that I'm going to get Alex to do while he's on break.
I love it.
You just remind me.
Uncontrollable. The viewpoint, the perspective that you should have always, like you're loving this and you feel guilty about loving this. When you go back to regular life and things open up, you should love that too. Like the uncontrollable part is your chance forever and always to say, I'm going to make the best out of the situation and crush what's in front of me, as opposed to succumbing and living in fear, anger, uncertainty, doubt, blame, complain that most people live in. Most people will hate their job and hate their life regular. And then now they're coming home and now they hate their life again, just different ways. They'll choose ways to, instead of lean in to the positive and the gratitude and the optimism and the opportunity, to lean into just another way to find negativity and complain. So now instead of complaining about your boss and coworkers, you're complaining about I can't go out and I can't see movies and I can't do X, Y, Z. It's a choice. It's a choice to see the positive and the opportunity inside of every situation that you're in, as opposed to defaulting to the negative. That's going to constantly happen. It's not just going to be diseases or viruses that kind of keep you indoors, but there's going to be other things that punches you in the face for the rest of your life that you have to choose. What is your reaction going to be? And the people who have success and the people who love their life are the ones who choose to react in a positive, opportunistic way. So you fix what's controllable. You've learned something from this lesson. So you can't find the controllable without leaning into the uncontrollable. So Mark's leaning into that. Mark, you kind of accidentally leaned into the uncontrollable. You just happen to love this a lot more than what you did before. So the lesson is everything that's uncontrollable is amazing, is the best. Lean into it, see what you can learn from it, and use it as an opportunity to get better. But then use the controllable within the uncontrollable to make your life better. To say, I love working from home now. It's not just an opportunity to get ahead, but I'd love to keep this up. Awesome. You can do that. Go do it. It's a great answer. I'm very happy. This is why, in my head, Mark, can you just, I know the answer. I know what you're going through. Forget the context. Let's skip some steps and get to the answer. Let's go. Anyway,
I heard this
podcast. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, welcome. We're 24 minutes in. Welcome to the podcast. I heard this interesting quote that stuck with me as well the other day from someone. They said, for most people, the only thing that works is work in their life. Meaning their home life is a mess, relationships are messy, they're stressful, they're tired, all of this stuff. People go to work and they have a system and they can achieve and they can do it. And now that's all broken.
Okay.
There aren't the system. What?
The only thing that matters right now is what is Mark going to take from
Oh no,
his
I'm
life
not
now.
applying that to me. I'm saying.
I know, but it's
Oh.
not important if it's not applying it to you.
Do you want to just host this thing then? And
What are we
ask
applying
yourself,
it to?
Why don't you ask the questions and then you can answer the questions?
No, I don't even know what to ask.
I won't even get in the way.
We need Mark Drager. This isn't I would never call it the Something to Prove podcast.
What would you call it? Believe.
I wouldn't. Yeah, well, for sure. No. Make this valuable to Mark Drager and the audience, not by giving extra quotes, but like, what are you going to take from this?
The thing to nip is like, yes, I can take the tactical of, I can work from home a lot. Like I'm already thinking, I don't need the office as much as I like my office, as much as I like the buzz and I like the hum and I like the energy. I don't need my office. I don't need to spend $60,000 a year on that space. Maybe my team does. Maybe Louis disagrees. Maybe he thinks we need it.
Okay, but this is okay. So there's also a difference between the financial decision of what's best for the company versus the emotional decision of what's best for Mark Drager. So does Mark Drager want to go to an office every day? If it's no, then you know what's going to happen, guys, when we get through this? Mark Drager is not coming into the office every day. And we're going to have to build the type of company that can revolve around that. But should Fanta have an office? Maybe. Does Louis need an office? Maybe. Does the team need to collaborate and connect and be together? Maybe. But it doesn't mean that Mark's going to be there. So what does Mark Drager need? And then you can worry about how to execute on the company side.
But the same part of me that feels guilty for liking so much and feeling so grateful for what we're going through right now is the same part that makes me feel egotistical for suggesting that even as the entrepreneur and the business owner, that I deserve, and it's less than it used to be, but deserve the special treatment of saying, this is how I want to operate. Everyone around me, bend to my will and work for me.
Yeah, but you're not saying that. And this is not about what you deserve or not. If Mark is happy and positive and upbeat and crushing it, he's going to create more great for the world. Not doing it is selfish.
Elaborate.
That's it. You already understand. This is a show for Mark Drager.
It should just be called Making Mark Better.
It is. And
a journey through the life and times of Mark Drager.
And Mark is everybody. So we're making everybody better. It's not about your ego, you doing things that make you feel happy, more energetic, more able to give the gifts that you have into the world is the best thing you can do for yourself, for your family, for your customers, for the world. And it's not bending people to your will. It's trying to work within a structure that makes sense. That's what I said. Should Fanta still have an office? But if people can't work with that, if people can't work with Mark being away 4 days a week and he only comes in on Monday mornings, then you have the wrong people. It's similar to like if people don't want to do extraordinary work or if somebody has the wrong skill set. Great. I love you. If your talent is fashion design and I'm trying to build a marketing agency, maybe you're not the right fit for me. Great. You don't bend them to your will and force them to do something else. Go work somewhere else where you can thrive and be amazing. So what's going to change, Mark? What are you going to do? What's the new policy when you come back?
Well, I mean, listen, we're only 2 weeks into this, but here are the things that I really love right now. And some of them will stay and some of them won't. Like I love the fact that my kids aren't in school right now. Because
so you're going to homeschool?
Jacqueline would not be open to that. Jacqueline would not be open to that.
Because she has to do most of the work?
Yeah, she would take more of a leadership role in that. Although I've started working with the kids on like 1 hour per day of study time and this and that at lunchtime. But here's what I love. And I could probably figure out ways to work this in digitally or other things, even when they're back at school.
Or you have somebody who's in charge of you hire somebody and that's their job. So.
Maybe. I love that, that when I love the fact that I don't have I love driving. We talked about this last time. I love driving. I love my truck. I like the fact I don't have to commute. It saves so much time to literally get up, grab the cup of coffee and walk downstairs and know that within like 8 minutes of waking up that I'm hustling already. It just frees up so much time.
When you live in the middle of nowhere.
Go on.
Keep going.
You have to commute really far.
And it takes a lot of time.
Yes.
You
So
like the leaning in? You
I
like
do
the
like
leaning
that.
in?
I like that
Yeah,
you're
it's
leaning
good.
in and you're
Yeah.
changing the tone of your voice.
Hey, listen, look at how we position the microphone better, right?
That is better.
Yeah. This
That
is
is
a Mark
good.
Drager impact. Yeah.
That is good. I like it. I love right now that my kids are sleeping in. So somewhere between 7:30 and 9:30, as each one of them wakes up, they come downstairs and find me. They give me a hug, good morning. I ask them how they slept. We have a little chat. I will work here at the desk listening to music, and they'll sit down here and play puzzles, or they'll just spend time around me.
Okay. Do you think the kids are going back to school before September?
No,
So you think it's gone? The whole semester is gone, then summer, and then
I think so.
what would be the worst case how old's your oldest?
She's
What's the
going
oldest?
into high school.
Grade 9?
She's going into grade 9. Yeah, she's in grade 8. So we got grade 8, we got grade 6, we got grade 3, and we got senior kindergarten.
And what's the worst case scenario for you saying, you know what? Next school year is from home.
But by the time September comes, I think because they're all kind of pretty social creatures, and I think ourselves will be ready for them to go back to school. I'll just try and maintain maybe some morning routine type stuff, but I'm not worried about them being home for the next 4 months. That doesn't worry me. That doesn't.
What if it was the next 16 months?
If it was the next year and a half, then we would just look for more. Like we've already talked about Rachel. She's going to an art program. She got into a specific art program at a specific art high school that she had to audition for. So if that wasn't happening because it wasn't open or couldn't happen, then we already talked about hiring like an online, like through Upwork or something, art classes. And I would rather her pursue art than learn more about math or something that she's not interested in. But
just before this, I had a podcast with a guy and his 2 daughters. Mm-hmm. He's had success as an entrepreneur, was a race car driver or something, then became an entrepreneur. His life got crazy, no balance. And so he wanted to spend more time with his daughters. And so they launched a podcast together. And it's him who's, I don't know, he's like in his 40s. And he's got maybe late 40s, I guess. He's got a 14-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old daughter. And the 3 of them bring on guests and interview them.
I love it.
So he starts it off and says, hi, I'm, his name, and here's the show, blah, blah, blah. He asks 2 questions, and then his daughters both ask 2 or 3 questions each. And then he rounds out the show with something. And then that's the whole thing. So he brings on people that he likes, that his daughters like, and they kind of rotate who they're going to go and bring on next. And they said this is the best education that they've ever got.
Well, it's a bit like that Tony Robbins joke. He makes, if you go to Unleash the Power Within, he makes the joke every time he tells this story about his young kids. And he always says, I thought it was more important that they got an education than went to school. And it's like this idea that he pulled, like, I think Tony, right? He pulled his kids out of school. He was traveling all over. They followed him all over. It was more important that they saw the world and got an education than stayed in school. So
it's doable. Lots of people have done it.
I'm of that mind. I'm right now, this week or next week, I haven't dedicated any time to figuring out the structure for all of that stuff, but I do not feel the need for my kids. In no way will it hurt them. In no way will it hold them back. Anyone who's worried about their kids, it will not hurt your kids. It will not hold them back. In Ontario, when I was going to school, when Evan was going to school here in Canada, we had something called grade 13.
Okay, it doesn't matter. So you have a chance between now and September.
I was about to go into a great lesson and a great.
No, it's not a lesson. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No, because we're talking about Mark Drager. It doesn't matter. Grade 13 in Ontario.
Homeschooling, sure, whatever. I'm cool with that.
But you could, from now until September,
yes.
You didn't think about it this week. Awesome. But if you don't think they're going back to school before September, you could design that life. You could create, like you've got, what is it? March?
Yeah.
April, May, June, July, August, 5 months?
3 months. 3 months of schooling would be missed. Typically they take the summer off.
No. But you have 5 months. If you were to say September, maybe not. It's a thought experiment.
Yeah. If
they're not going back in September, and worst case, they could join in January, right? Like even as a semester off, you got 5 months to plan for what a Drager, I want to say Christmas, but Drager education program looks like. You haven't thought about it in the past week. Awesome. You got 5 months to figure it out so that it's amazing for Mark, and he gets to see his kids every morning and hug them and kiss them and say hi. They get to work on projects that they love working on and involve their parents in the process and each other and take leadership roles within the family. So that Jacqueline can still go off and do all of her awesome stuff and training and plays and all the stuff that she's doing. And the kids are being productive and happy and learning and have the best school year of their life. Still being able to be social and be around other kids. Like, you can plan that. You can make that happen. If you put,
and not only can we plan that and make that happen, the part that we talked about a bunch of podcasts ago is you could take that anywhere. So the idea of like, hey, let's spend we can't do this summer, but let's spend a month in Paris. You can't pick up school and take it to Paris with you.
But you could have a skeleton for a plan in 13 and a half minutes if you wanted to.
I know. You're getting me excited about it.
No, but this is the thing. Like, what if it's just I like this as it feels like a vacation, but you don't want to be on vacation your whole life because you want to do work, but it's just imagining what is the thing that's missing. So is it something that I actually want the kids to be in school? I just want to spend more time with them and have some kind of projects that we work on once a week? Or is it, no, I love that they're home. We should do this. We should create a program that fits everybody's life and is the best thing for them too.
For me, I love that they're home.
Great.
So I like seeing them in the morning. I like seeing them at lunch. I like that, at 1 o'clock, I went out for a half an hour run and Jonah and Silas biked beside me.
Plan for it.
I like that. I made them lunch. I hate making kids lunches for school the night before, but in the middle of the day, I'll make them lunch. We'll connect. We'll talk. Then I can go back to work and I can crush it until 5 or 5:30 because I've already given them the time during the day.
Your daughter, your eldest, is 2 years away from not talking to you again for the rest of your life.
No, come on. Did you see the card? Did you see the card that she gave me? The nicest card ever. Come on. I feel like I'm planting the seeds for a great relationship with my teenage daughter.
Maybe. And you could definitely be an exception. But there was some stat, I forget who it was. I think it was Ryan Holiday was talking about it. Once kids go off to college, university, or
the stat in terms of that they'll spend 70% or 80% of the time that they'll spend with you is before going to university.
I think it's more
out of the whole entire life.
Yeah, like I think it's in the 90s.
Yeah, it's so hard.
I could be wrong, but it's a giant number. Let's just say 90, and you can flame me in the comments if it's way off. But
no one will flame you. They love you.
90% of the time that you spend with your kids has already happened. Once they leave high school. So if that's super important to you, then this could be the greatest 4 years of her life, where you could hang out with her every day. You could make her lunch every day. You could work on projects in the arts that she really cares about. And she can come out being this insanely talented artist that you would never get through a traditional high school program. You could build that life, and you have 5 months to plan for it. With it not being a massive burden and tax on Jacqueline, because Mark's only doing an hour a day with the kids and she's spending 8 hours a day with the kids, right? It's like my ideal life as Mark Drager is I want to spend an hour every day with my kid. I want to hug them in the morning. I want to put them to bed. I want to cuddle and watch whatever show you watch at night.
Parks and Rec right now.
Parks and Rec.
See, you did read the letter.
I want to, no, I didn't read the letter. You wrote that on an Instagram comment somewhere.
Ah, okay.
But whatever, I consume Drager content. You want to spend an hour a day with them. Great. Structure your life so that you can do that and that they're happy and your wife is happy. You can do that. And the worst case is they don't like it. You don't like it. You can't figure it out. You actually realize, I don't want them home all day. Then go back to school.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the worst thing that can happen, right?
But if you love that, then plan for it and make it happen. Instead of the default, Jacqueline would never go for it. Yeah, because she's assuming she's going to have to spend 8 hours a day because Mark's only spending an hour a day with them. No, she wants to go do her thing, build the life for her that she can go do her thing, and then build the business that allows this all to happen. So Mark can work from home, not commute 18 hours every day. So I listen to so many podcasts.
For my 10 children. Yeah, my podcast consumption is really fallen through the roof.
Yeah. No,
Falling
what?
through the roof?
No, that
falling
doesn't make
through the
sense.
floor? Falling
Yes.
through the floor.
You know what? The podcasts were never that important to you. They were just killing time.
Yeah, they were interesting. But
Now, well, listen, Mark. Now, instead of spending an hour listening to podcasts, you can spend an hour with your kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good trade.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's all good advice. I'm gonna actually play this. I'm not gonna explain it to Jacqueline. I'm literally just gonna play this part of the podcast. She can listen in. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack. You have to build a life that Mark Drager loves, that the kids love, and that Jacqueline loves. Like, this isn't just about Mark. What does Jacqueline want? Does Jacqueline want to wake up every morning and go to the gym and work out? Does Jacqueline want to teach her own fitness classes? Does Jacqueline want 4 hours a day of uninterrupted time to focus on her creative projects or her acting or practicing or picking up some new skill? Does Jacqueline need to spend 2 weekends a month out in some cabin with her girlfriends? I don't know. Like, what does she want? What is she learning from this? She knows what she doesn't want. She doesn't want to go back and being a housewife, looking after the kids. She spent a lot of years doing that. And now she finally had this taste of an actual, like, amazing life. So she wants that plus. What's the plus look like? What does she learn through this? Not of what she doesn't want, but what she does want. And then go build that. It's doable. And that means Mark is home 4 days a week and his office has to adjust. You build that life. Because your kids are not going to talk to you soon and they're going to leave the house.
Makes me so sad.
Yeah, so leverage it. Listen, now you got time, right?
My kids are good. I am going to maintain tight relationships with my kids.
Mark 2024, 4 years later, is coming back to say, Mark, man, Jesus, you had this chance. You had this opportunity. And the worst case is it's a semester off and they go back to school and they'll go back and crush it.
Yeah.
But the memories, the learning, the bonding, the opportunities to create in that time are insane if you want to make that happen.
Yeah. Well, I like that. I love it. On the other side of the business that we've talked about with the big master plan, I don't know if we talked about the big master plan
on the podcast.
On the podcast or not.
Okay.
But the fact that,
how many days a week do you want to go into the office? Or do you ever want to go into the office just like for meetings or something?
I don't know. I mean, like 2 weeks ago, there was a few days that I didn't have to go in at all, that I could have worked from home. And I was like, no, I'm going to go in. And, I go into the office and I have my office set up. I got my stereo, I got my music, I got everything. I can talk to Louie. We can banter back and forth. Like, I have productive days in that office. And if we go back to normal, I'll like going back into the office too.
How often? You don't want to go in 4 days a week though.
I don't know.
It may run better without you.
Probably.
Mark with his.
Probably. So the big things right now are, I really love that I get to focus the time to work on the things that I need to work on or want to work on, because I'm not commuting as much. There's less client BS taking place. When you're in a service-based industry, you're kind of always at the whim of the clients and what you need to do and what you need to focus on. And so some days can get like crazy if all of the clients want to talk to you all at the same time. Everybody seems to be taking a break and taking vacation, which frees up me to focus more on that. So that's why when I say the big picture things that I really see working towards, which is, for us to build an agency that can help service our own businesses that we own, our own assets that we own, mm-hmm. that is feeling very aligned right now, because more of my days would be spent like this, working with my teams on my companies, on my assets.
But you can also, I love it. That's a long-term play, and you got to find your first company and do that with. Some of your clients are aggressive and are pushing. And are you still talking to them, or it's still just happening remote?
No, we're doing this. We're doing exactly this. I mean,
but that doesn't feel like a drag. You like it.
Oh, I loved it. On Friday, I jumped on.
Okay.
This morning I had 3 back-to-backs.
The bridge is getting more of those clients.
Yes.
Getting less of the apathetic, let me just talk to you and ease my concerns so I can talk to my boss. And then in 6 months, maybe we'll have some kind of decision for you.
Yes.
Less of those clients and more of the economy's down.
Friday, I sat down and spent half an hour working through strategy for one of my clients, one of my long-term clients that we know very, very well. And I developed, I saw 5 opportunities for them. Mm-hmm. Tuesday morning, we have our weekly calls. We jump on the call and I walked them through 5 of them and 3 of them make a lot of sense right away for them based off of where they're at.
And they don't want to do it?
Information. No. Within an hour and a half, all 3 were approved. Brand new things.
Yep.
So within an hour and a half, they were approved. The next day, we had the team together for Critical Path. We're launching a campaign within a week and a half.
Right.
This morning,
so
we walked into the stuff, and it was just like fire. Let's go.
Go get more of those.
I love it.
You had homework on the weekend.
Yeah. Don't talk about that.
Right. That's what you need to do.
We've made some. Yeah, anyway.
Go get more of those clients.
The last breakthrough that we had, because our conversation on Saturday, and then Sunday led Louie and me to have a really serious conversation on Tuesday.
Okay.
And ultimately it's if we look at the customers that we have, that we love working with, that we drive insane amounts of value for, that one customer I told you that we were generating $1 million of business for, it's actually more. We went through the numbers.
Great.
It's actually more.
Awesome.
And so really we took a look at we took a look at who we do really good work for and what we're built for. And it's customers that I love and it's companies that I love. And I haven't gone after them because people, I think like you or other agencies or other people think that they're not like the one that you should be working with. I love working with B2B companies.
Great. Go get them.
So that's finally Tuesday. I said, I've been putting off for 7 months. I've wanted to say we are an agency that works really well with B2B companies. Great. We are. We're really, really good with them.
So we do it.
Love it. That's what we're doing.
But that's your bridge. It should be hard to leave your business to start your own investments into companies because you love your clients so much. You don't love all your clients so much. Awesome.
Not all of them.
Well, that's fine. And listen, any service-based business, that's what's going to happen. But as you learn and as you get better and as you acquire skill sets and as you prove results, because it's still relatively new, this whole agency, it's not, 3 years in?
4.
4 years in?
4 years in.
So you're learning. I mean, you're way better than what you were 4 years ago. Holy cow.
Wow. And so this one client that we're crushing things for is we're able to determine we are because we've been working with them since the beginning.
It should be hard to leave your clients.
Year of data.
It should be hard to leave your clients. There'd be a lot of clients. If you had, I don't know, what's your capacity? 5, 10, 20? How many clients could you take on of that size?
Probably 12.
12. 11 plus Evan Carmichael. So if you had 11 great clients, maybe 10 because I require extra work.
Evan doesn't fall within the B2B business model, Mr. Carmichael.
But I'm the best to work with.
But you're the one that I will cancel all my meetings for.
I'm the most fun to work with. I push you the most. So 11 ideal clients plus Evan Carmichael is the business until you start investing in your own companies. If you had those 11, you'd be saying, hey, old customers, really appreciate you. I think it's time to find another agency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, listen, we have.
No, but you would.
We have 2 or 3 clients that one in particular though, that I've worked with and I appreciate and I love so much that if I wasn't doing this, I would want to work in their company.
Great. That should be all your companies.
I know.
Great. So
I know it should. That's but
you had homework to go build a list and message them.
Yes.
You could have those companies.
Mm-hmm.
And you can let go of the other ones. And that doesn't have to be the long-term big picture. Like that should happen this year.
Yes, I know.
Yep.
It was though, the lesson.
That's a great filter. If Mark doesn't want to be in the business, Mark shouldn't be working with that company.
But the lesson for me was having the confidence to do the things that we're good at and that I love, that everyone else tells me is too small. Because it's not too small. It's not me settling to work with the types of businesses that I love, doing work that I love, and finding aggressive people and helping them turn into big things. Everyone has told me that it's settling, that it's the easy path or whatever. And
who cares?
It's not.
Come on. How many episodes have we been through? Great.
What? I'm telling you that even despite all of the episodes we've been doing, that it was finally saying like, I'm going to own that this is what I want to do.
Awesome. So you realized it.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it on
Friday.
Friday?
You yelled at me on Saturday.
Saturday?
Sunday I did work.
And we're
on
Thursday?
Monday I did work. Tuesday I talked to Louis. Yesterday we put together pitches.
How many emails have been sent out?
0.
That's the problem.
But it's going to happen very soon.
That's the problem. Once we
I
discovered this,
I need to be
on
emotionally
Friday,
comfortable with this.
No,
buddy.
you're fine. No, you
I
don't.
I do.
Always be jumping. Episode 14.
Good guess. I don't think so, but good guess.
I don't know. You knew it on Friday. I tasked Mark with then, great, go find 50 companies that look like the business that you want to go work with and send them an email to introduce yourself. Mm-hmm. Instead of working on your landing page and your pitch, you know enough. I want to schedule a call. That's it. Stop spending time on a PDF, on a pitch deck, on the landing page. Nothing. Stop it immediately, ASAP. Don't talk to anybody else. Send 50 emails out to your ideal potential clients and book a call with them. Hey, I help B2B businesses leverage their online marketing. We just took this client to generate an additional $1 million in sales. We focus on B2B. I think there's tons of opportunity in your industry. I got 3 big ideas that I'd love to hop on a call and explain with you for free. Great. 5 people will say yes. Mark Drager is going to get on a call with them, blow their face off. You know why? Because he's Mark Drager, and he's going to land 3 of them. And now he's in business. He can fire those other clients. That should have all happened by now. What are we doing? You don't need to talk to Louis. You don't need to make a pitch deck.
I'm not making a pitch deck.
You say you work on the pitch. You don't have to work on that is the pitch.
I have to work on the pitch. I have to work on the...
No, you just need to get on you need to send emails and get on the phone. That's all you need to do. You're going to show up. You're going to be awesome. And you're going to change their life. These are easy clients. These people are not doing much. B2B online marketing, most of them suck. You can come in and crush it for them. We should have sent 50 emails out.
That's the sentiment that made me second guess that I was taking the easy path, but I'm not. We're built for this. We're really good at this.
So send the emails. Who else do you have to talk to? What else do you have to do before you send the emails?
I've pulled together a list of target lists, and I've asked Alex to run a quick comp analysis on each one.
Not until you get a call. You get a response. Why is he spending time going down 50 different people? Did you build 50?
We have 23 because I do a lot of research on them.
Double the list. Stop spending so much time doing research. Double the list. Email them. The ones who write back to say yes, great. Now you work on your comp analysis. Alex is wasting time. I want to email him right now. Say, Alex, you just wasted the last 4 days of your life. I apologize. Go back to fixing Evan Carmichael's campaign.
He's been doing that too. That dude's been
great.
Working.
Go back to fixing that campaign. And when I really need you, I'm going to let you know because I'm going to bang out 5 of these calls and I'm going to need your awesome insights. But even without Alex, Mark Drager is just going to crush you on the phone because these guys are so unsophisticated and you're so insanely great at what you do that the first time call with them, you'll crush it on your own without anything. You're leaning on you're acting like you have everybody in your bone broken. And you have fake casts and wheelchairs and crutches everywhere. Meanwhile, there's nothing physically wrong with you. Run. Alex needs to stop immediately doing what he's doing. Mark needs to just double his list today and send out 50 emails and hop on phone calls. That's it. Jesus Christ. That is it, dude. That is it.
The silence you hear, audio listeners, is me blushing.
Dude. Come on. This needed to happen Friday.
I didn't have the confidence that I had Friday.
I don't care if you don't have the confidence. Send it.
No,
it.
I
How
have
do you
it
get the
now.
confidence?
I have it now.
No, you don't. You barely have it. Go.
No.
You get the confidence by doing it. You're going to get the confidence by hopping on a call. Listen, you're going to actually hop on your first call in 4 months without the push. In 4 months, you're going to hop on your first call. Realize that you didn't even need any of Alex's comp analysis to actually crush it in the first call with them, to blow their face off and make it the single greatest call with a potential client or service provider they've ever had in their entire life. Because you're going to show up and be great. because they're so unsophisticated and you know what you're talking about. You realize that you wasted 4 months doing nothing. This needs to bother you more.
It does bother me.
Emails out. Like, build your list today from 23 to 50. And I don't care if you haven't done perfect research on it. The worst case scenario is they're going to ignore it, right? What's going to happen? They're going to ignore it. You're going to hop on a call, right? They're going to say no. Great. You're going to hop on a call and realize that you actually can't help them because they maybe don't have a budget or they're too small or whatever, right? But great, you spent 25 minutes with them, adding insane value to their business, putting out good karma into the world, spreading the Mark Drager Fanta brand anyway, even if you can't afford to work with them. There's no scenario where they're going to come on. You realize that you're actually not good enough and you don't know enough about their business to provide them value. That's not going to happen.
So one of the things that we worked on in the script, we only have a few minutes left because you have a 3:30, right?
I got to go. Yeah.
You're already late?
It's 3:26. I mean, 3:30. I'm on a call at 3:30. So we got to.
So let me. I
don't care about your script. Your script doesn't matter.
No. Our targets are mission-driven companies.
Great.
I'm worried that I'm going to bring someone on. I'm going to talk to someone. I'm going to introduce them. It's going to be a great fit. And at some point, I got to figure out if they're actually mission-driven, if they actually have the chutzpah, if they actually have all that stuff. You
do that by talking to them, not by researching their website. You'll know within the 15 minutes of you being on the phone with them, and bring on Louis if you're not sure for the second call. That's how you figure it out. Not what do they put up on their landing page and sign up for their email sequence to see what they're sending out to their clients.
Yeah, they don't have landing pages or email sequences.
Great, because their marketing sucks. It's going to come and blow their face off. Mark, 50 companies today. The worst case is you spend 25 minutes on a call with a prospect that's not going to be a fit. That's already going to be more enjoyable to talk to than some of your current clients anyway. And you're still going to give them insane value.
Perfect.
It has to happen.
Perfect. That's it for the episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.
If you want to know why you need to hustle, why you wait, and Mark's insane take on it, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and we'll see you there. Hi there, I'm Evan.
And I'm Mark. And on this week's episode, we talk about
all the crap in Mark's life.